So what's your price target for Bitcoin? Well, was it what, 70K? 71?
It was between 74, 72 to buy. And right now we had actually a decent bounce already, but I think it's very likely for it to go to 89K, which is still a lower high. So I won't be surprised if markets bounce next week, Bitcoin follows, but then the trend continues down, and then we see in a few months a new low happening.
What would you tell your younger self the first time he lost money?
Yeah, that's a learning process when you lose money. In business, in investing, losing money is actually part of the game. And I would even say if you're not losing money, there's something wrong. You actually have to lose money to learn from the process. Otherwise, eventually, something will hit you and it will come hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Market Buzz. We have Timothy Assey here, family man, popular investor, and the writer and chief editor of Panic Drop. He's creating value for over 9,000 followers, and he's actually helping 300 plus copiers make money in his eToro portfolio. By the way, all the links will be below, so if you want to look at his trades, how he looks at his portfolio, we're going to learn this in this episode, but you can also just look at it from the lion's mouth in his eToro website. But yeah, we have an investor here, popular investor from eToro, Timothy Assey, co-host of the Market Buzz podcast. And, social media influencer, But we also want to hear about your life, So where do you want to begin? You know what I mean? Where do you want to begin? I think it's a good idea to start potentially getting a sense about you. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, maybe where I started investing.
Sure.
Or when I started investing was...
You know what? Give me the when, the why. Give me the when and the why.
The when is not so hard. It was 2017. Crypto kind of went parabolic in the second cycle, and I was one of those typical retail investors that bought in too late, and I was always interested in Bitcoin, but at that time you couldn't just buy Bitcoin on exchanges. It was
complicated.
It was very complicated, and I'm not very technical with computers, so I was asking friends how do I buy this, and Bitcoin was at $300. They couldn't even manage how to buy it, so I later went on exchanges, and by that time it was already at 10K, so kind of missed a big gap then. And yeah, I basically round-tripped my portfolio. First got in Bitcoin, then saw the altcoins going parabolic, so went with my Bitcoin gains into altcoins, and then also lost it all because the crash happened and didn't took profit. The good thing was it was a learning experience, and instead of quitting and ignoring the market, I stayed in the market, and even during the boring times, I started learning about stocks through courses and understood that altcoins are pretty speculative and you're not really investing in them, you're really trading them, while stocks are really more buy and hold. And that's how I come up with my portfolio really being 20% stocks, 20% and 80% stocks and 20% altcoins.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounded a little bit low, but cool. No, funnily enough, for me, it was very much the same. So in 2017, whenever the crypto rally started, I bought Bitcoin at 19K, which during 2017, that was an awful entry point. You know what I mean?
That was
I look like a genius right now. So I don't care,
yeah.
But yeah, we started mining and I did the same things. But what was the thing that drove you to Bitcoin? Is my question. So was it just money? You just wanted to make money? You just heard, or was it something else behind it?
The story behind it really, how I understood it was Bitcoin is more than just to make money. It's more a sign to tell to the government that it's independent. While the dollar is getting inflated, Bitcoin has a limited supply, and watching series helped me to understand how Bitcoin worked. But I also dig deeper into the 4-year cycle, which made me understand, okay, it's good to have Bitcoin long term, but it also crashes 70-80%. So as an investor, you might want to take some profit after all, just to limit those losses. So you want to make money also on your investments and not just accept every crash if you're pretty sure there's coming one.
I get you. I get you. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you a little bit about your life right now. So I know you're a family man.
Yeah, I have one kid, I have my girlfriend, and then one dog.
Nice. Nice. And then what do you do on your day to day? Because I know that you have Panic Drop, you have your eToro, your portfolio, and your followers, which you've made them quite a bit of money. This will be an interesting stat to show here, but you've performed extremely well. You're in the top 10 most followed in Belgium as well. So fantastic news. And what else do you do on your life, like inside your day to day?
Yeah, right now I still work. So I graduated as a physiotherapist, and I have my own practice. So I see half time of the week, see some patients, and then the other half time of the week I work on my newsletter, on my blogs, on eToro, check my portfolio, how to manage it. And that's really how it goes. Like in the day, it's more going to work. And then after the afternoon, then I start checking markets, doing content, managing the portfolio, looking for what stocks are a bargain, calculate the intrinsic value of a stock, or check charts of altcoins, Bitcoin, to see what the trend is, how I might add them to my portfolio, where I should stop if they fail my plan. Yeah, I enjoy working at home, and that's really how I want to continue doing, like minimize the work as a physiotherapist and go more full-time into working as a
Portfolio managing and social influence and all of those things. Okay, I got you. Let me ask you this. What's the goal? Why are you doing this? Why are you waking up every single day in order to get this done?
I really love doing what I'm doing when I'm in front of my PC writing blogs. That's really how I enjoy spending my time. I would prefer even do that instead of going out with friends drinking. So for me, I just love doing that, and I would love to do that even more. And I'm that kind of guy that can start at 8 in the morning and just keep going until 11 in the evening without an issue, because I really love doing it. Not only checking charts, managing portfolio, but also writing stuff, helping people, replying to comments. Yeah, I'm looking to build what I'm doing right now into something educational to help even more. So that's really how I see things going, where I have this community helping people. They may be helping each other. Just from where I come from, wishing that I had the same, the younger the better.
Yeah. It's interesting because the reason I share our content and my personal content as well is just for that. It's the things that I wish I had and the discussions I wish I'd had with other people when I first started talking. Not just like, oh, look at this or look at that. It's just, okay, look at the overall picture. This is like from people that are, it's funny. Dimitri said this in the last episode where he was like, you listen to the professionals until you become a professional yourself, and then now we're the professionals. So it's like now we're the people managing not only our own money, but other people's money as well. So it's interesting. Nice. By the way, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you want to watch the episodes of Market Buzz, because yes, we have many of those. But yeah, okay, cool. So let me ask you this. What's the future? Where do you see yourself in the future? And this is like the question that I'm sort of like, I'm trying to like get to you to kind of understand. It's like, do you want to build like a legacy, or do you want to build like, like a family wealth? Hakeem said he's looking to build, like not only for his community and himself, but he's looking to build that foundation for the future generations as well. You know, when you buy, so when you buy a stock, what is the thing that's driving you to purchase this? Because you can just keep the money in cash and spend it later in retirement. But are you looking for retirement? Are you looking to build something, a legacy? What is the incentive behind all of this work?
So for me, it's all about freedom. You want to do what you want every day on your terms without listening to a boss, restrictions from outside. You want to be working on stuff you love. And I'm already enjoying this. So my goal would be to continue doing what I'm doing and focus even more on panic drop, on investing, helping the community. For my family, of course, I want to teach my daughter to be an investor very early. I'm already investing for her because I know in the long term, the sooner you start, the more you compound. So that's really how I see things. And like everyone, I love traveling. So for me, it's also handy to be able to work remotely and be like in any country and do what you love as well.
No, well, funny enough that you say that. I'm from Venezuela originally, right? And it's like I've seen what happens when a couple of people decide that they want to take the party a different way, and then all of a sudden the party stops, and then it's like everybody has to go home and everybody has to pack up, and then you don't have enough food to eat the next day, right? So, like one of the reasons for me, at least, is kind of like that freedom and that independence, not only from government but from day-to-day life, and just being able to decide and have the conviction and the foundation to decide what you want to build next. And you're working not because you have to, but because you want to. So I love that. All right, let's pivot a little bit now we know a little bit more about you. Oh, I want to know, right, what's your market outlook, right? Like, we are undergoing a major, the Trump crisis is what I'm calling, right? Or the Trump stump, he trips over himself and he creates a massive chaos. So I want you to, well, let's start first with the bear bull scale. I know that you are the lowest in the bear bull scale of the market bus right now. Everybody's like, everybody wants to know your number because they know, So where are you sitting in let's say the very short term? So from here to like 1 to 3 months.
Yes, how I see things is that we are in the short term, very, very short term, we could see a bounce, but I would see that as a lower high in the markets, meaning that the markets are likely to make new lows in the next couple of months, say end of June, beginning of July. The reason why I say this is not only because we're seeing technically the market in a downtrend and the trend is your friend, which means it's likely to go down, but also macro wise, I mean, yes, they announced 90 days pause on tariffs, but one, the tariffs 10%, it's still there, and two, it's a pause. So what's gonna happen after the 90 days? Is it again gonna be some kind of uncertainty? Until that's clear and the market is uncertain, I'm not sure it's ready to go into new highs. So sideways at best is what I would say within this year.
Well, it's been super interesting because in the short term, the market has been the most technical I've seen it in a really long time. Like, it's following RSIs. The moment the RSI becomes oversold, it sells off. And it almost feels like the only people in the markets right now looking to buy or sell are traders. Like, there are no long-term buyers because people are panicking. They're just like, I'll just wait for more clarity. I have a couple of clients that are just waiting for that. And then I have a couple of clients that are like, look, I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to hold. And like, I know in a year or two, we're going to be fine, right? So, okay. Then end of the year.
Imagine you're a business owner and you see Trump flip-flopping from on to off. What you gonna do? Are you gonna stay on the sideline or are you gonna say, I'm gonna invest in US? No. Even with this 90-day pause, you're gonna wait and sit it out to see how it's gonna evolve.
Well, funny enough, my initial prediction on when for Liberation Day, that's what he was going to get somewhere between 10 and 15% tariffs, blanket tariffs for everybody. And we didn't get that. We got some crazy number created by him. That was super interesting. But then he came back to that, right? He came back to the 10%. Right now, we're sitting somewhere in the 25% with the China tariffs included as an average. Still, we're still at very high levels, and that's why the market is really cautious. But I do think we did get some clarity. If we, in the 90 days, the problem is, do you think the 10% is a floor or a ceiling?
No, it's a floor.
That's the thing. That's what he's saying. But I actually think it's a ceiling. I don't think the market's going to let him go higher. I think 10% right now, it is the ceiling based on, because the thing is I don't think all of the industries he doesn't want all of the industries in America. He just wants the ones he needs in order to defend himself. It's my opinion, obviously. But yeah, we're here for you. Sorry. We're here for you.
But obviously he wants to negotiate. So when Europe would say a 0, maybe US is gonna say 0. So yeah, I mean,
if we end up having a free trade environment, that would be fantastic for stocks, right? But again, like short term. So okay, so your bear bull scale for the very short term is sitting at what?
My
1 to
bear
10.
bull scale is sitting at 3
Okay, so that's for the short term. Okay, and then medium term. So by the end of the year, hopefully we get some clarity. But again,
8.
This is based on your. Okay. Oh, okay. So end of the year, we're sitting at 8. Okay. All right.
Meaning maybe not new highs, but
higher from here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then your long term, which I already know the answer to this because you wouldn't be an investor otherwise.
Yeah, long term bullish on US, so 10.
And rest of the world?
I don't care. Like,
that's fair.
I'm mainly focused on US and a few companies in EU, but yeah, I just focus on what I know best.
All right, I get you. And for the crypto markets?
For the crypto markets, I'm not so bullish actually. Especially
Really?
if stocks make new lows, then I don't think Bitcoin will be able to remain
Maintain?
in a bull market. And when momentum is gone for crypto and it lacks narrative, it can take a really long time to recover and for the momentum to shift. Personally, I wouldn't say the same maybe in a week because things go so rapidly. I just watch the charts for Bitcoin. I'm still seeing a weekly downtrend for Bitcoin, but I took a short-term long trade on Bitcoin because the signs were there where there's a daily uptrend again, which means it could evolve in something bigger. So hence why it's only a trade, not a long-term investment. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. My opinion can change within a week.
That's
you
why
have to be flexible.
Yeah. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm going to ask you this in the next segment, which is going to be how you invest and how you look at this. But yeah, that's why you have to make sure you subscribe to the Market Buzz channel because everything is changing at all times. And with Trump, you never know whether it's a buy or a sell or get out of the market just to hold out together. So make sure you subscribe so you get the latest news the fastest. All right, segment number 3. We're going into part 3 right now, right? So I want to understand, right? Like now that we've gone through this crisis, there's bargains in the market right now, right? And I want to know, what are you putting on your basket, right? Like what are you picking up from the shelves in these Black Friday deals or Black Monday deals, I guess,
Yeah.
What did you pick up, or what are you looking to pick up?
To be honest, last week, I've already been buying. So when I say I'm short-term bearish, doesn't mean I'm selling. I'm actually buying. For stocks, I don't like to sell because I'm in it for the long term. I endure the corrections. I endure the bear markets without selling. That means maybe I can share with a
Yeah,
screen.
for sure. Share screens. As long as I'm not sharing the screen and I don't stop the live stream, I'm happy. You know what I mean? As long as it's not me stopping the live stream. It's happened twice in the last 2 live streams.
Yeah, how did that even happen?
It keeps. I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into. I'm an adult. I'm gonna deal with I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna change the way that I do this. Go.
So, I'm not sure if you see the chart.
I do.
Yeah. So this is Amazon. I love Amazon. I've talked about it on previous episodes. because it's a cheat code. It's 5 businesses in one company, which makes it very attractive for me to invest in it. And when I buy stocks, it's based on its valuation, and you see a green line, which is 213 calculated as its intrinsic value for Amazon. And then based on horizontal levels, I will draw buy levels for me on the
That 151 level. Okay, sorry.
51. Yeah, that's the last one. That's the fourth buy level. So you always want to have like a few buy levels. And whenever the price drops, I have some orders and it just get bought for my portfolio. So I don't even have to do it on the time itself. I just put in the orders at 166, for example, and boom, it gets bought. I also have a buy order at 151. If price goes there, boom, I'm just buying at the level I want. Try to avoid emotional attachment. Whenever markets go down, you can feel a bit of, oh no, it might go lower, and then eventually you don't buy, and the next day, boom, it's up again. So that's why I put the orders. It's much easier for me to do it this way.
Sometimes whenever I have cash on the sidelines, I just put these crazy numbers just to see, like maybe an algorithm goes nuts. Algorithm goes rogue, and starts selling the company that I really like really fast, and I end up getting a price that I didn't expect to get, So this market has definitely been one to do that for. So I applaud you for that. Okay, cool. So what else? What else are you looking for?
I've been buying all the tech stocks: Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, even Apple. So all these giant tech stocks with a wide moat, meaning a competitive advantage, still growing 20% a year. I mean, for me, that's obvious a buy, especially if they're undervalued. Those are the stocks I've been buying. I'm also looking into financial sector, like S&P Global. It's one of my favorites. The business that's focused on, launching indexes, all that stuff. I mean, even in recessions, people are gonna trade, which mean they're earning when things go down, but also when things go up. Another is MasterCard, which I love a lot. People are gonna keep transacting. And we saw that in 2020 and 2022 in the bear market. They just kept earning more and more every year. The revenue didn't drop.
Yeah, it was super interesting because if inflation goes up, they charge a percentage charge of the amount of money that goes through their network. So the more money goes through the network, the better for them. I was actually thinking, yeah. We have very similar mindsets in here.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
and I also love healthcare. Yeah.
Healthcare. Okay. Right. As a defensive or as a long-term hold?
The thing with healthcare, it's defensive, but it also has a lot of growth. So it's kind of the both ways. And right now it's really, really undervalued, healthcare, which usually gets flipped in the next year. So that's really me preparing for a rebound in the sector.
Which companies are you looking in that sector specifically? Just for our viewers to put in their watch list and do their own research. Because remember, what we're talking about is based on our own decisions. If you want our results, just make sure you copy us, right? But we're not giving you financial advice. Don't buy companies. We don't know your risk tolerance, so we're not able to make decisions for you unless you give us some capital to follow us. And we make decisions based on what we think is best. Make sure you check out down our portfolios in the description. But tell me, what's in healthcare? What are you looking at in healthcare?
Personally, I'm investing in ETF. So ETF healthcare. And I also have one. Yeah, the problem is I'm invested in ETFs that are allowed in Belgium. So it's kind of a weird name. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's interesting how not all ETFs are allowed everywhere, eh? Here in the UK, we run into the same issues as well.
It's called
eToro allows me
XDWH. So yeah,
Okay,
It's
we'll
an
check that out for
ETF
sure.
on healthcare. And then also Thermo Fisher is a company I love. So also growing each year and has a competitive advantage.
Okay, that's cool. Cool. All right. Well, anything else? Anything else you want to let the audience know?
About crypto,
Whatever, whatever you decide. Yeah, it's your time.
yeah, maybe about crypto, because how I structure my portfolio, I have 80% stocks, 20% crypto. Stocks, that's buy and hold, buy even more when things drop. Crypto is following the trend. When I see the trend reverse, I try to get out. For example, now Bitcoin is in a weekly downtrend, so I'm a bit light on Bitcoin. 5% of my portfolio. Usually I have around 10-15% in Bitcoin. When I see the trend reverse, I go a bit heavier on Bitcoin, go 10%, and even add some altcoins when I see strength.
Do you have any buy targets for Bitcoin? We saw the Amazon ones, but do you want to share Bitcoin buy targets? Getting you to open up the traders guidebook.
Let me see if I have it on my.
Give the viewers the juicy. Give the viewers the juicy, because I know in Mimi's Telegram, people pay attention to what you do. It's funny. People are like, "What? Timothy's bears on Solana?" No, I saw that comment the other day.
Funny enough, I sold Solana when I was telling you in the last podcast. It broke below 160, so I sold, and now I'm actually buying because
Oh wow.
I don't think Solana is gonna make new highs, but at least make it to 160, 180. So it's a high
In and out.
risk reward trade, yeah, in and out. So for me, I'm now
So that's your
in
risk
Solana
reward right
as
now?
well. Yeah.
Is that your risk reward? So what's the downside on that entry trade? So it's
Yeah,
112?
I'm already out at 112.
Okay.
So
But you don't think it's
that's
going to
my
hit that.
stop.
You think you're going to 160. So okay, your risk reward it's kind of big, eh? It's kind of what?
The
5x for every
5, yeah, 0.7, 5.7. And that's my first target. You have a second target, 180, which I think it's also possible to hit. And so for Bitcoin, yeah, 72 to 74K would be my low bit buy on Bitcoin. And you see it missed it by a hair. Bottomed at 74,700. So with 1K in difference, it didn't hit my order actually.
That's why sometimes you can divide the buy order. You know, it's like, because the thing is like one a trader that I follow, he's like, look, put your buy order in your stop loss. Sometimes, you know, he's like, yeah, just put it in the stop loss because it's gonna hit that, and because a lot of people are gonna have it there, so it's gonna hit that, and then you just buy there, and then you place your trade from the stop loss that you thought you were gonna do. So it's interesting. Okay, so what's your price target for Bitcoin? And well, was it what, 70K, 71?
It was between 74, 72 to buy, and right now we had actually a decent bounce already, but I think it's very likely for it to go to 9, which is still a lower high. So I won't be surprised if markets bounce next week, Bitcoin follows, but then the trend continues down, and then we see in a few months a new low happening. So that's how I see stuff. If Bitcoin can reclaim that level, I will have more confidence, and I don't mind buying more at a higher price. It's like the risk I'm taking for not having the downside. I'm giving up some gains, okay, and have more certainty in my positions that way.
Nice. Anything you want to share with the audience? Because I know that there's going to be a course coming. I now know this. I don't want to. If you don't want to share, I can take this out of the episode. But if you want, whenever it's ready, I'm more than happy to put it in the description of the episode.
If it's ready, it's to help people who are just like me, random dudes who want to make money in the markets and do it consistently. Because you can have investment in altcoins, make tons of money, but then that's the one time you do it and never again. You should have like some kind of strategy, and that's what I'm gonna teach about in the course I'm making, using indicators and using simple trading strategies to keep it simple. Yeah. So that's something to look forward to.
Well, Timothy, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
Anything
having
else
me.
you want to let? Anything else? Well, thanks for having me. You live here. You know what I mean? You live here.
I'm
What
part
do
of it.
what do you mean? Welcome back to your own house. More than happy. More than happy. And then, okay, cool. Anything else you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, if you want to follow me on eToro. You can check out my Panic Drop newsletter on Substack. We'll link it below, or just contact me through Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, basically everywhere.
All right, we'll make sure to put all the links. Welcome to the shootout. So I'm gonna ask you 10 questions. You're gonna try to answer as fast as possible. Let me know when you're finished with one, and I'm gonna shoot with the other. All right. First question is: what's a belief about money that you had to unlearn to grow?
My belief on money was that it's hard to earn. Like, now in the digital space, it's so easy to make money. Even now with AI, it's getting even easier. You have AI agents that can make millions within a few weeks. So I had to acknowledge that making money is not that hard. And that's also why I'm this entrepreneur, always trying to do new stuff to make more money. But like, yeah, in terms of investing, the money that's sitting in the portfolio, for me, it's dust. Meaning I'm not emotionally attached to it. When the stocks drop 30%, I'm even happy because I know I can buy more stocks. And when the stocks go up 30%, I'm also happy because my portfolio is making more gains. So I'm actually more emotionally detached from money in a way, just to keep my strategy, my portfolio strategy simple.
Okay,
Without
I get you.
moving it too much.
I get you. Okay, second question. What is the biggest win that you came that what is the second question? What is the biggest win that came from a losing position?
From a losing position, probably I bought Google 2020 before the Corona pandemic drop. So it crashed 50%. And then I also bought more eventually. But now I still have that position, and it's up 6 times more than
Nice.
it was back then.
Nice. So that's good. That's good. Sometimes losing positions, like for me, whenever I lose money in the markets, I like to think that it's tuition cost. And sometimes the tuition ends up paying me back. So that's, that's good. Okay, cool. Then question number 3. What do most people get wrong in a downturn like this?
They sell because they think it's gonna go lower, while also knowing eventually the market is going higher and the stock will rebound. So it's more for them about having extra cash to buy even more lower, which I think is a mistake, because then you're trying to time the market, and research shows that it's practically impossible to do that or consistently. So trying to time your buys and sells on stocks, it's, in my opinion, a no-go.
Yeah, it's the truth. All right. Question number 4. What does wealth actually mean to you now?
Yeah, for me, wealth means having freedom to do what you want, like no restrictions for doing stuff you love. Working for a boss might give you restrictions. Having social in Dutch. I know the word in Dutch, but not in English.
Say it in Dutch. We'll translate it.
Verplichtingen.
I will figure that out. Okay, cool. So it gives you one of the things you said in the episode, it gives you freedom too. So
it gives freedom for the things you love to do.
All right. Now we're going to give me a second. Question number 5. How do you stay level-headed when everything looks like it's burning and collapsing?
For me, it's very easy. I calculate the intrinsic value of a stock. I know what it's worth. So when the price drops below that, and I know eventually it's gonna recover because price follows value. So it's not really that I'm panicking when things drop. I'm actually very happy when things drop.
You see, that's when with a seasoned investor, when you hear from a seasoned investor, every single person is like, when markets drop, it's great because there's opportunities to buy the things that I wanted to buy for a really long time. And now they're finally here, you know, because patience is key. All right. Question number 6. When did you finally feel like you were playing your own game?
Yeah, I would say the moment I learned about how businesses work, that stocks follow businesses in price because it's growing in value, that when you're investing in a stock, it's actually investing in a business. So it's logically that whenever a business is doing good, that the stock price will also go up eventually. So for me, knowing that has helped me a lot in picking stocks, but also keeping level-headed in the markets when things go bad.
If you could only invest in one thing this year, what would it be and why?
One thing. I'm just thinking of what tech stock I love the most. Probably Amazon, because for me, it's a business within a business. It's logistics, it's ad revenue, it has its own streaming platform, e-commerce, and so on. So it's so much in one company, and that's what I love about Amazon.
Nice. All right, number 9. What do you hope your kids remember about how you lived? You know, making you like this is 30 years in the future, you know?
So the thing is, when my kids come from school, I'm always there. I might be on my phone or checking the markets, and then my girlfriend would say, stop that, and then I put it away. And
you don't want to get in trouble with the miss.
Yeah, I try to be at least there with my kid after school, do things together, enjoy spending time. When she wants to play, I play with her. That's now when she's very young because she's 3 years old. But just being present, that's important to me.
And then the final question, what's one thing every investor needs to hear right now?
Let me think on that.
Yeah, think all you want.
Because there's so many, you know. One thing right now in the markets that you need to know is whenever there's panic and there's news about, I don't know, Trump or the economy, you have to ask yourself this question. Is it affecting the stock you're owning? Is it really that of an influence on its fundamentals? If no, for me, that's the most obvious reason to buy when a stock is crashing, because it's not specific to that stock.
And then the last one, but not least, you know, because, you know, you always ask one more. What would you tell your younger self the first time he lost money?
Yeah, that's a learning process when you lose money. So in business, in investing, losing money is actually part of the game. And I would even say if you're not losing money, there's something wrong. You actually have to lose money to learn from the process. Otherwise, eventually something will hit you and it will come hard, the double.
Yeah, it's interesting because every single business, whenever you started, it has a cost. Investing can be the only business where you never go under, or it could be the business that bankrupts you really quickly. So it's something to pay attention to. Maybe that's just the cost of doing business. And it's part of the building process in order to get into better and better companies and get into better and better investments and opportunities as well. All right. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much for everybody. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you made it this far, you are a real MVP, and I hope we give you some value. And if we didn't, tough luck. All right. Ciao, everybody.